following some developing news this midday. Today, Elizabeth Coast admitted she put an innocent man behind bars.
I'm Andy Fox, Miss Coast, and I want to know why you lied. I want to know why you lied and put a man into prison for 4 years and committed perjury. I want to know why you lied and put Mr. Montgomery in prison. Do you have anything to say to him?
Many months later,
Coast Attorney Ron Smith said she should be given credit for coming forward, even though it took her almost 5 years. Judge Bonnie Jones agreed, giving Coast a 2-month sentence, which she can serve on weekends beginning this weekend.
This man did 4 years in state prison because this woman straight up lied on him. And the judge doesn't give her a year, doesn't give her 6 months. The judge gives her weekend jail for 2 months. Let's talk about it. Now, just imagine being sentenced to 45 years in prison for a crime you didn't commit. Well, that's exactly what happened to Jonathan Montgomery. Now, our story starts back in 2007, where Elizabeth Coates' mom caught her looking at some objectionable material online. Now, her mom kept pressing on why she was looking at these sexualized pictures online, and she told her mom that she had been introduced to these pictures and things of this nature by Montgomery. She then told her parents that when she was 10 years old, she was attacked by Montgomery in her grandmother's backyard. Now, police were able to track down Montgomery, who had moved to Iowa some years ago. Coates then later identified Montgomery and he was charged. Now, here is the district attorney's office explaining what evidence they had to convict Montgomery. But first, here's a word from our sponsor, Incogni. Let me ask you something. How much of your personal information do you think is online right now? Your name, phone number, even your home address. You'd be shocked how easy it is for scammers, stalkers, and identity thieves to find you. Now, I know you get robocalls. I know you get the robocalls telling you to take a personal loan to pay off credit cards, or you'll get a robocall that your car insurance is lapsing, or you can get a text message inviting you to get a job from somebody who you absolutely don't know. Well, my first question is, how does this person get my name and phone number? Well, it's because of what's known as data brokers. See, they collect and sell your personal information to the highest bidder, and they do it without your permission. Now, understand this. It's not just your name and phone number. See, data brokers build entire profiles about you, where you live, who your family is, what your shopping habits is, even your medical history. Now, this information is sold to advertisers, background check companies, and sometimes people who have no business knowing anything about you. And also, your information will be available to scammers who either trick you into handing over your money or ruin your credit. See, when your information is out there, it's a nightmare in getting it back in, unless you have Incogni. Now, the sponsor of this video, Incogni, does all the hard work for you. They contact the data brokers on your behalf, they demand that your information be removed, and they make sure it stays gone. Now, with Incogni, they give you a dashboard where you can track every removal request in real time. Okay, so if you don't want your personal data getting into the wrong hands, I got a nice little deal for you. Click on the link in the description or use my code Nate the Lawyer, all one word, Nate the Lawyer, and you'll get 60% off their annual plan. That's promo code Nate the Lawyer to get that 60% off. Link in the description and in the pinned comment. Now, back to the video. Now, here is the district attorney's office explaining what evidence they had to convict Montgomery.
Hampton prosecutors say Elizabeth Coast's story was specific, credible, and most importantly, consistent through hours of relentless questioning.
It's really hard to keep up with the same lie. It takes a special type of person to be able to really pull off something of this magnitude. There was a cousin who came forth and remembered back then the relationship between the alleged victim and the alleged suspect in the case, Mr. Montgomery.
Bell says Coast's cousin and her mother told police Montgomery was infatuated with her. They said Coast began to look at pornography after she was sexually abused. Prosecutors noted the behavioral changes as evidence the rape really happened.
Now, I want to make it very clear. He was 100% innocent. So with absolutely no physical evidence, only thing you have in this case was a he said versus she said. And what she said was enough, where a judge sentenced Montgomery to 45 years in prison. Here he is serving that sentence. Now, 4 years go by, and Elizabeth Coast is now a civilian employee at the police department. Coast then had a relationship with one of the police detectives and told the police detective that she had ruined a man's life and spilled the beans on what happened. Then a couple of days later, Coast made a videotape confession explaining that she had falsely accused Montgomery after after being caught by her mother looking at sex stories on the internet.
Ms. Coast, this is the man that you've sent to prison for 4 years on a lie, that you committed perjury and have now admitted to it. And I want to know why you lied. We interviewed Jonathan Montgomery, who's still in prison. Asked him, is he angry?
I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed that she didn't come out with this sooner.
I don't have any comments. Please
At least say that you're sorry. At least say that you're sorry. For Montgomery, it's a simple question of why.
Biggest three-letter word in the dictionary is why. Why do it at all? Why cover something up for something so small? It really bothers me to not know the why.
Coast never answered why, just a smile. Why are you smiling?
Is this funny? He almost ran into a tree.
Is that funny? A judge vacated Montgomery's sentence and ordered him freed when it was learned that Coast, who worked with the Hampton Police Department, confessed to a detective that she lied about a sexual assault, lied at the trial, sent an innocent man to jail. That's what you told the detective. That's what you told her. You've admitted to this. And all I want to know is, all Mr. Montgomery wants to know is, why? Why did you do this? And sadly, when Coast was given repeated opportunities to simply apologize, it was clear there was no apology coming. For the sense of decency, at least stop and say that you're sorry.
Jesus, get out of my way.
So, as you heard in that piece, Montgomery was still in jail after she even admitted that she had lied. Now, the governor at the time granted a conditional pardon, and then the courts a little time later declared him innocent. So, this essentially never happened. He also received $175,000 in compensation for his wrongful conviction from the state. Now, Elizabeth Montgomery pled guilty to perjury and she was sentenced. Here's what happened.
I am very sorry for the mistake that I've made and the lie that I told. And this is me taking responsibility for that.
In court, Coast said she lied about the sexual assault that sent Jonathan Montgomery away for 4.5 years. Coast said she didn't want to disappoint her mother, who was portrayed in court as a heavy-handed disciplinarian. Coast's mother caught her reading adult material, and that's when the lies began. Coast blamed Montgomery because her mother kept pushing the issue, and Montgomery had moved away, and Coast never thought that he would be found. But he was. Coast attorney Ron Smith said she should be given credit for coming forward, even though it took her almost 5 years. Judge Bonnie Jones agreed, giving Coast a 2-month sentence, which she can serve on weekends beginning this weekend.
I wanted to convey to the judge that if there's somebody else out there that did this, do you want to give a big sentence to somebody and send the wrong message? Don't come forward, we're going to lock you up.
And in the end, the judge believed that line of thought from attorney Ron Smith.
It's obvious this case exposed some serious flaws within the justice system. Montgomery was convicted without any physical evidence. And this case was a clear he said, she said. And the allegation alone was enough to send him to prison. But you know, my real question to you is, what do you think about this sentence? She only got 2 months, really not even 2 months in jail. 2 months worth of weekends in weekend jail. Is that enough for sending a man to jail for 4 years? And she didn't really come clean. She told one of her coworkers, and that person came clean. I honestly think the appropriate sentence for her should have been at least 4 years, because she made this up out of whole cloth and really, really hurt someone. And it seems like the judge believed this whole, well, if you punish her, it may make other victims less likely to come forward. And I disagree. I think if you punish her, it makes the liars less likely to come forward. Now, don't forget, like, share, subscribe to great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer. And again, as always, tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section. Later.